Hello, everyone. Dr. Victoria Scribo here, speaking to you from the Seeds of Transformation Healing Center in Wareham, Massachusetts. It's time for Taroscopes. We're going to be doing the Taroscopes for the sign of Leo. That's Leo Sun, Leo Moon, Leo Rising for the month of June. Before we get into the reading, I'd like to just go over a little bit of the astrology that's happening in June. June is an active month. We have a few planets changing signs. We have a few planets changing direction. Your ruler, Leo, is the sun. And so where the sun sits is important for you. The sun starts the month in Gemini, of course, and Gemini is your house of friends. And so we have a lot of communication, perhaps with friends, maybe not person to person, in-person friends, but certainly communicating over technology and the like. So it's a very good time for that while the sun is in Gemini. Once it moves into Cancer, that happens on the 21st, which of course is the solstice. We tend to get a little bit more introspective because now it's moving through your 12th house. The answers lie within. And so we may find ourselves being a little bit less social, which is kind of unusual for Leo. But this is the time when the sun moves through that 12th house that Leos tend to shut down a little bit and go into themselves in order for when the sun moves into Leo for them to take center stage yet again. We also have Mercury. Mercury actually starts the month in Taurus. It quickly makes a conjunction to Uranus in Taurus. For you, that's your 10th house, your house of public, you're the house of the public. This is where people see you. Mercury and Uranus have a special relationship in that they are, Uranus is the higher octave of Mercury. They both work on the mental plane, but Uranus is illumination and generally sudden illumination. So there can be a sudden change in your public persona or how people see you at this time. And we know that for Leos, how people see them is pretty important to them. So just be aware of that. Things can come out that are unusual. You just want to continue to show the poise and don't let them see you sweat kind of energy that Leos are so good at. Then Leo moves into Gemini. And so whatever gets illuminated, did I say Leo? Mercury moves into Gemini. I know in my head what I want to say, but sometimes it doesn't quite come out of my mouth in the correct way. Mercury is going to move into that 11th house, and you can network with people to see how you can manage whatever came out. Now, it doesn't necessarily mean it's a bad thing. It could be a great thing, but you need friends to help you along the way, just to sort of put things in perspective. And then, as I said, Mercury goes into the 12th house, and that's a much more internal, personal, spiritual time for you. We do have a full moon and a new moon this month. We start with the full moon. The full moon is in the sign of Sagittarius. Sagittarius is your 5th house of fun, and with the sun in Gemini in your 11th house of friends. So it is the axis of love. So the axis of love gets activated through this full moon. The full moon is square Saturn, so it's squaring both the sun and the moon. Saturn in Pisces for you. Pisces is your 8th house. So while there's this energy of love and this energy of open, you do need to be careful about your money and getting caught up in any kind of scheme that seems too good to be true. So be aware of that. If it's too good to be true, it is. But Saturn is in Pisces now and will be turning retrograde this month. So it's building power until it turns retrograde on the 11th. And so make sure that you take care of your taxes, things like that, things that can put you in debt to other people. You need to be very careful and cautious about that. Just dot your I's, cross your T's, get a good accountant. You don't have to do it yourself. You can delegate, but you want to make sure that you're delegating it to trustworthy people. What else do I want to say? We also have a new moon at the end of the month. We have a new moon in Gemini. That new moon is happening in that 11th house. So new opportunities to get your communications out there. And so if you're thinking about starting a YouTube channel, you're thinking about doing a blog or a vlog, or all the very many ways that you can get the information that you think is important out there, this would be a good time to do that, especially closer to the end of the month. And I think Venus is moving into Leo this month and immediately making an opposition to Pluto. Pluto is in Aquarius at the start of the month, but shifts into Capricorn on I believe it's the 11th. There's actually quite a few things happening. Is that when Pluto goes into? Yes, Sunday the 11th, Pluto moves back into Capricorn. So it's been, Leo, it's been in that house of relationship. Now it moves back into Capricorn. That's the 6th house. And so there are some things that you need to tie up some loose ends when it comes to your responsibilities to yourself, health issues here. So it's time to relook at how your health and how you can best move forward. You've gotten a taste of what's possible for you out there in the world, but unless you manage some of the health issues that you have, you're not going to be able to enjoy it to its full extent. So this is, while Pluto moves back into that 6th house, this is a time to really explore how maybe you can do it differently, but perhaps in a more holistic way. So it's not just, going to the doctor and getting medicine, but it's a whole lifestyle thing, being responsible, being gentle with your body, and perhaps not taking on as much stress as you normally would. Leo has a tendency to think that it can do almost anything, and a lot of times it can, but it is often at the expense of the physical body. So don't find yourself in that trap. All right, that's all I want to say about the astrology. If you want to know more specifics about the astrology, you can check out my my astrology Kabbalah monthly video, which will be coming out after this comes out. So keep an eye out for that. And then each week I look at the week ahead in a more intense and focused way. I'm a little bit more astrologically oriented, and you can check those out. They come out at the beginning, the day before the week starts, right? So if I start my weeks on Sunday, you can look Saturday night, the video will come out. All right, so let's take a look at the month ahead for Leo. I am using the Thoth Deck, and not because I have a Leo rising, so this is a reading for me. So if I'm brave enough, of course, all Leos are brave enough, right? So let's see what Thoth Deck says, what's ahead for us in the month of June 2023. June 2023. Let me just get a good shuffle. We definitely want to shuffle these really good. Of course, this is the point where the sun is the highest in the sky. That's solstice point. All right. We start with the Magician. As above, so below. This is about focused intention. So it's important that you focus your intention in the direction of what you want to create. Don't let people distract you from what it is that you are here to do. How can you focus your mind? The Magician requires not just a focused mind, but to utilize all of the elements. The Magician has the sword, the Magician has the cup, the Magician has the pentacle, the Magician has the wand, all in balance with the focused intention to utilize the elements to create what it is that is in your mind to create. We have a lot of energy for that because Mars is in Leo and it is in your house of creativity. Let's see what challenges that. We have the Nine of Cups. This is, and it's called happiness, but what could get in the way of your focused mind is too much of a good thing, too much drinking, too much smoking pot, whatever, whatever your thing is. No judgment here. But you want to keep a focused mind, and too much of a good thing can get in the way of that. So just be aware of that. Let's see what's underneath it. We have Mars in Leo. Look at that, Mars in Leo. So this really is your month, Leo, to take actions. Now, remember, Mars is square Jupiter, so you have to pace yourself, because Mars square Jupiter, you can take on too much. Remember, we talked about that. And it's also still opposing, although weekly now, as we start the month, and that will wane off. It is opposing Pluto. So, and then Pluto is going to be retrograding right back into Capricorn. And so it's going to take the pressure off the Mars there. Yeah, you're standing on your bravery, you're standing on your valor. So be yourself, be your best self, Leo. Leo is very loyal. Leo is very brave and courageous. Leo is willing to take on the mantle of leadership. A lot of people say, oh, I want to be a leader, but that's a lot of responsibility, and that's something that Leos are generally willing to do. In the past, I have two Magnus cards. In the past, so we have the Magnus again. I keep both in my deck, two magicians instead of just one. But what this says to me is that what's worked in the past when it comes to focusing your intention will work again. You know how to do this. You know how to do this. This is not something that you can't do. Let's see what's in the sky. Oh my goodness, strength. This is Sagittarius card. This is the Nine of Wands. You need to have healthy boundaries here. Know who your enemies are, know who your friends are, so to speak. But it's best in a way to keep your own counsel here, and stand strong. Keep your boundaries. Don't let people sort of wiggle in, say, oh, please let me do it. No, so it's like, no, this is the line. This is where I stand. I will fight for it. Let people know what you're willing to fight for. And usually with Leo, it's love and what is right. What is right. Now, in some Leos, it can be megalomania, but not you. I don't feel that, right? I feel like standing in your truth, and you are assured victory. The Six of Wands, the Six of Wands. So whatever it is you put your mind to, and whatever it is you focus on with conviction, with love, and with courage, you are going to be victorious. So this is a very positive month for that. Let's see how you're seen. You're seen as a love bug. I don't know. I bet you are. In the domestic situation, we have the Ten of Swords. This is a difficult card to have in your domestic situation, but it simply means that there's a thought or a thought process or a plan that is at the end. So whatever it is that seems like it's wrapping up in your domestic situation, it's done. It's done. You no longer have to do it. Hopes and fears. Friendship and abundance. Who doesn't hope for that? I doubt it's a fear thing. And outcome, the Leo card, lust in this deck, or the strength card in other decks. This is about expressing yourself. This is about this card really speaks to an ability for your spiritual self to have control over your animal self. And so this is really spirit embodying your body so that you can be a facilitator for spirit. And of course, as a Leo, you're ruled by the sun, and the sun is a star. So this is about shining your light. This is about being the star that you are. Anything that goes away in your domestic situation, you no longer need. So although this is the most challenging card in the deck, it's only in one spot, and it just means that something is ending. Let's take a look at underneath it all. We have the Ace of Discs. This is new opportunities. We have the Nine of Swords, which is cruelty, and we have the Four of Pentacles, which is power in this deck. And so this reminds us that you don't have to be cruel to be powerful. That cruelty isn't, that cruelty comes from a sense of lack. And so just be aware that some people, because you're shining bright, okay, you're shining bright this month, and some people will see that shining bright and want to maybe take you down a few notches, but you don't have to necessarily worry about that, because you are powerful. If you are in your light, the light will protect you. So don't be surprised if somebody that you thought would have had your back or would have been happy for your happiness doesn't sort of give you a little dig, you know, like, eh. Don't let that dissuade you. Don't let that break your heart, so to speak, because you have the power that you need. And whatever that other person has done is their own problem. Don't make it yours. All right, guys, have yourself a wonderful month. Like and subscribe if you would. I would like to get to 10,000 subscribers. That would be great. So if you like and share and all that, if you know a Leo that would benefit from this reading, you can do that. I do have a Patreon page if you want to support me that way, or just a like would help. Again, I do astrology and numerology and Kabbalah readings. If you're interested in having one done for yourself, there is a link below to my website. And for my students out there who have been patiently waiting for me to start classes again, now that I'm back from Ireland, I will be starting classes in June. We're going to do a part 2 of the Kabbalah class for those who've taken part 1 of my Kabbalah class, and I'm doing a beginner's astrology class. And then every Tuesday night, we have an astrological salon. If you're versed in astrology and you want to join us, there's an option for that on the website as well. You can take one class just to try it out, or you can take you can pay for 6 classes ahead and you get a little discount with that, but it's up to you. It's all up to you guys. All right, I will see you again next month. Have a wonderful month. And from my heart to yours, namaste.